Hello and welcome to Culture Shark livestream about all things pop culture. I'm Final Monkey,
And I'm Caleb.
and today we are looking at a comic book crossover between two of our favorite franchises, Aliens versus Avengers. Before we get to that, Caleb, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Just been chilling. We're taking a trip next week down to Gulf Shores, so we're just kind of getting ready for that. But took out some time to read a four issue a 4 issue mini that apparently took over a year to release, which I think is insane. I didn't realize that this took so long to come out.
Yeah, well, I mean the artwork, Saad Ribic, I think his artwork takes time, and Hickman's also not the fastest writer, so.
Do you ever think that's probably what happened with X-Men? Is like maybe he just wasn't writing fast enough to necessitate a bi-monthly
No,
release
I
schedule?
th- I think there were too many cooks in the kitchen with X-Men, and
Also true, yeah.
they liked telling stories where they were at, and he was ready to move on, and they weren't, and so he said, "Okay, well, y'all have fun,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
uh, which was to the detriment of the story.
Yeah.
So we will definitely be talking about Krakoa today because it is part of this story.
I mean, this is
So
so unapologetically Hickman. It's insane.
yeah. So yeah, let's get into it. The first thing that we usually do when we review comics is we will do a non-spoiler discussion, and then we'll get into spoilers. So non-spoilers. This is a four-issue mini, Aliens versus Avengers. There is a lot of which alien movie was that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat
That
that? You
issue.
kind of cut out for me. Can you hear me?
What's the movie that came out? Yeah, I can hear you.
Uh,
What came out right after Prometheus?
Covenant.
Covenants. There's a lot
Yeah.
of references to those two films in this story,
Yeah.
the David storyline and the engineer storyline. So
Yeah.
this is kind of like a third part of that, but it's also kind of like the next part of the X-Men Krakoa storyline, and
Yeah.
also picks up strands from Hickman's Avengers run. There's some different things that are all mixed together into this
Yeah.
four-issue mini.
I think that's what I said previously is probably the best thing to say. This is so unapologetically Hickman.
Yes,
It
I really like the artwork. I really like the story. Is there issues? I think my issues with the story was I think it needed to be a six-issue mini. There are moments that kind of I would like to have explored more of or seen more of. We kind of get
well,
the aftermath of a lot of things, and I'd like to have seen those events unfolding.
let me ask you this, and I mean, I guess I this may be somewhat spoilery, but I'm just gonna ask it in the non-spoiler section because I don't think this spoils much of anything too much. Um, we're definitely getting more of this, right?
It's definitely set up for sequels at the end, where this is kind of the setup of a brand new team of Avengers by the end of it.
Yeah.
Now, will that happen? I know right now they're doing Captain America versus Avengers, but I think that's its own separate thing.
Well,
And
I
so
mean,
we're
yeah, I
seeing,
mean, is this even in uh oh, I actually didn't hear about that. They're doing Captain America versus aliens or whatever.
yeah, it's coming out right now.
Who's right?
It's a whole
Who's
red.
writing that?
Who is writing that? I will pull that up while we continue
Frank
to talk about this.
Thierry.
Yeah, he's an old Wolverine writer from back in the day. He wrote some different books, but mainly Wolverine. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I definitely want to. Anything else, I want to keep down to a spoilery minimum because, uh, and I'll uh, because there's something that happens pretty early on in this book. And I think this might be actually where we disagree because I think this is what you said your problem was. Um, but my review of this, it's so unapologetically Hickman. I very much, this is great. I loved it. Um, I've never been happy to have been so lied to, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like what the what is it? The marketing and
Yes.
even the cover of the book is not representative of the book.
Yes, I
You know
would
what I
agree
mean?
with that. The covers seem to be one thing and the book is something different.
Yeah. Which I feel like that's where we'll differ because I think you wanted to see some stuff. I think where we start is so cool. I love it.
So I'm going to say I give this story a thumbs up. If you like these franchises or Hickman, I would definitely check it
Yeah.
out. There is some silly comic book shenanigans in it for sure.
Sure. Sure.
But that's
Absolutely.
what makes it fun. That's what kind of what you want to see
Yeah.
with these crossovers. So
Yeah.
if
Tell me if this resonates with you. This reminds me if like we mixed together Old Man Logan and Marvel Zombies. Does that?
I was thinking of the story that kept popping into my head was when Bendis did that Age of Ultron story where it jumped to the future and well, we'll get to the spoilers here in a minute, but
Yeah.
that's the story
Sure.
it reminded me of. Um,
Sure.
just a little side note before we get to this, did you hear the rumors that Mark Millar may be doing a Avengers Star Wars crossover?
I did not, and I wouldn't think Mark Millar would be the guy to do that.
Yeah,
um,
so I'm very intrigued what that would look like, you know. So um,
yeah, like
I think
ult.
he could pull it off, but Mark Millar is also a mixed bag. Some things he's very reverent to, like when he did the Superman Adventures, he was perfect for that. But then in other stories, he's known for doing the outrageous things in the stories. So
Yeah. Well,
it,
it's kind of like Ultimates is some of my Ultimates 1 and 2. I think are some of the greatest comic books of all time. Uh, but at the same time, he does Wanted, Kick Ass, Kingsman, and I love all of those. But none of those scream Star
I think I
Wars.
lost you there for a minute.
Oh, oh. Uh, can you hear me? Can you hear
Right,
me now?
right. Yeah, I hear you now. Yes, yeah,
Yep.
those stories don't scream Star Wars, but I think he's a big ideas guy. He'll have like these huge concepts and then he'll build a story around it. So I could definitely see it. And
Yeah.
there was apparently a DC Star Wars story planned for a while that Alex Ross actually did covers for that never happened.
Oh,
So this has been kind of proposed in the past. So all right. So our non-spoiler review though for Aliens versus Avengers, I give it a thumbs up. Definitely check it out. Uh, I think you would agree. And
absolutely. Yeah.
let's get into the spoilers then.
All right. Let's see. Where's the? Oh, that's a different
So
one. There we go.
question: do you like Wakandans in space?
Um,
It's a
it
recent development in the comic books where they have like a space empire that they are building.
so it's not something that I would have expected, but it's not necessarily a surprise for me. Because more and more Wakanda is kind of tell me if this if this resonates with you. Uh Wakanda is slowly becoming the new Inhumans, if that makes
Ye-
sense.
Yes, and Inhumans went to space also. They took over the Kree Empire at one point. So, yeah,
So
I could see that.
yeah, so the answer is no. I don't hate it because, like, I mean, it's whenever we're talking about how technologically advanced Wakanda is and how they've always been this technologically advanced, them going to space doesn't surprise me. I like Wakanda in space better than Iron Man joining Guardians of the Galaxy. That's what I'll say.
Oh, I hate Iron Man joining the Guardians of the Galaxy. So, yes. So yes, this story opens with the Wakandans have hunted down the Shi'ar who are doing experiments on xenomorphs, and they discover that they are too late. That they have already launched probe ships to different sections of the universe,
I
and
believe it's one queen egg and 12 infected specimen is what they said.
the joys of the internet. We had a little hiccup there, but we are now back online. Hopefully, it'll stay connected. So we're going to pick up right where we left off with the story spoilers. Our story began with the Wakandans in space. Wakandans in space, and they they were hunting down the xenomorphs that had attacked one of their Wakandan bases, and they wiped out the xenomorphs, but found out that they were too late. They had already sent out probe ships to different parts of the universe, including the Earth.
Yeah, it was one queen egg and 12 infected uh infected uh uh whatever the word is. I can't think of the word now.
Soldiers, drones,
Yeah.
whatever. Yes.
Yeah.
So we then see the fall of the Inhumans. It said they had a shield up, but there was a skirmish going on and they were distracted. So probably Maximus or the Alphas were causing troubles. So we see the fall of the Inhumans. We then see Krakoa being evacuated because the if you've read the Hickman Krakoa era the X-Men, the X-Men have a base on Mars. So they the mutants all escaped to Mars, but Apocalypse stayed behind to defend Krakoa.
Which I love. That is so Apocalypse.
It is, especially if you've read Shield, which I think was also by Hickman. Now that I'm thinking about it,
I believe so,
in
yeah.
in ancient Egypt, when the Brood attacked, Apocalypse was the one of the defenders fighting off the Brood. So
Can I'm glad you bring up the Brood. I do want to bring up one thing. I am glad because I don't think this works if this isn't aliens. This isn't something where like Hickman had an idea for a Brood story and then he just slapped aliens on it. No, this is Wayland Yutani. This is David. This is aliens. You know.
yes, they very much the two universes are mixed together. So we then jump to Wayland Yutani's final. Uh, they have like a city that is protected from the aliens. It's kind of like humanity's last stand here,
Mhm.
and we jump ahead to the future. So the covers kind of lie, make you think it's present day Avengers. No, these are old man Avengers that are exhausted from fighting aliens for the last 40 years, 30 years, however long it's been.
Yeah, which, as I said, I personally love. I've never been so happy to have been lied to.
We have Tony Stark, or not Tony Stark. I'm sorry, Bruce Banner, who is running the city with Captain Marvel, and then we at first you think it's Professor Xavier in a wheelchair, but it's actually Tony Stark who is with them.
For a while, because I don't think they say his name at first.
They do
Um,
not.
I thought it was Michael Wayland.
Oh, that is. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, it is. He does resemble Wayland from Prometheus. Now that I'm
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
W we also have Spider-Man slinging around, but you they don't reveal which Spider-Man it is at first. It is Miles Morales,
Hmm.
and he has the, Venom symbiote.
Which that's also like that's something that you don't find out until later. Like you just think he has like his normal like black costume on or whatever, and then right as oh go ahead.
You you don't notice it at first, but, like, in one of the panels, all of a sudden, he's smiling, and you're like, "Wait a second."
Yeah,
That's a
right,
Venom
yeah.
smile.
Well, and then like it's so cool because like Miles gets attacked by a face hugger and then like oh it's just it's so the reason that I say that this is kind of like Old Man Logan, it's not because like it's like Old Man Bruce Banner, Old Man Tony Stark. That's not where I was going. It's because Old Man Logan does stuff with the Venom symbiote that's like so out there and like just so comic booky cool. Uh like in Old Man Logan, the Venom symbiote takes over like a Tyrannosaurus from the Savage Land, and so it's a venomized Tyrannosaurus Rex, and so the venom takes over like a face hugger, and then the face hugger becomes Miles's spider symbol. Like it's so cool.
Yeah, yeah, and also we get, Valeria Richards, who is, Mr. Fantastic's, daughter and Invisible Woman's daughter, running back to the base, and she has an idea of how to stop the xenomorphs. I think she's gonna send a virus back in time. You'll have to forgive me. I watched a movie yesterday that also involved time travel, and my
No,
brain is mixing the two stories together.
no, so it wasn't time travel. They were just going to in it was essentially going to be kind of like a Terrigen mist that they were going to release on the world that
Hmm.
killed all the eggs. So like
Gotcha,
they weren't going to be able to stop what has already happened, but they were going to at least be able to kill all the eggs.
gotcha. The problem is Valeria's already infected, and she dies before she's able to enact her
Yeah.
plan.
Which
And,
I
and we get I was gonna say we get Bruce Banner in control of the Hulk, which is always fun, and he's kind of like the protector of everyone.
yeah, I mean
So
it's fun in the comics. In the movies, it sucks.
yes,
Uh,
yes, yeah.
but so I wanted to I wanted to ask you how you felt about that because the way it comes off, it almost pitches. No, I'm not going to say it like that. So it all comes down to Valeria trips and then is attacked by uh, a face hugger. Uh,
Hmm.
as an Alien fan, I'm totally fine with this because random, you know, trip and then attack, but like that stuff is what happens in the Alien franchise. I don't know much about Valeria. How do you like? Is Valeria one to be as careless as that?
I mean, it happens. I mean, it yeah. I mean, she's like one of the smartest people in the universe, but she's also limited by her physical body. So yeah, tripping. You're being attacked by xenomorphs. It's gonna happen. So
Okay.
I had no issue with that. So we see the death of Valeria, and then I think this is when Spider-Man gets the face hugger, and they're realizing that the aliens are on their way. They're going to detonate the walls. They've lost contact with all their other human outposts, and we find out that the city is actually a spaceship that Tony Stark has built to as an evacuation. We also get flashbacks to uh, the Davids. So let's talk about David and his other Davids from the Aliens.
Hmm.
I don't remember exactly what order the flashbacks happen, so I may have the story a little out of order, but we see that they have gone to the engineers' homeworld that we saw in Prometheus, and they have conquered the engineers, and we kind of jump forward in the aliens timeline to where the Davids have conquered the entire alien universe. The xenomorphs have killed off all of life, and then the Davids discover the multiverse, that there's more life out there, and so that's how they end up in the MCU, the Marvel universe, or a version of the
Mhm.
Marvel universe, and they set up Wayland. Uh, what's it called? Wayland Tuani?
Yeah,
Is that the
Wayland Utani.
Utani, and they take over Iron Man's company. He sells it to, but he's also doing this to figure out what they're up to, and so we get all this in flashback.
Yeah.
So
That really, to me, that kind of came off as like a total Batman thing to do. Is like, yeah, I knew you were going to take over my company, but I needed a closer look at your books. I wanted to see what you guys were up to.
yeah, like what happens in Kingdom Come with Batman and Lex Luthor. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I did like, this feels like this is the next part of those Alien movies that, yes, they conquered the universe, and now this is what they're doing next. I did like how it tied in
Hmm.
to Prometheus and
Yeah.
everything. So
Yeah, and it's one of those things. I can't remember. I know I didn't have you watch Covenant, but have you seen Covenant?
I have not seen Covenant.
Okay,
I've read the plot and you've told me about it, but I have not seen it.
okay, gotcha. Well, I just want to reiterate this: Covenant sucks, and I hate Covenant so much. This doesn't make Covenant any better, but it's one of those things where, like, if you're gonna have to pick up the pieces of Prometheus that Covenant laid to waste, this is like the coolest way to do it.
Yeah, and also it feels like Alien Earth could easily fit into this timeline also. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
all would work. So I did like that. And then it also, as we're gonna see here shortly, it picks up pieces of where he left off X-Men Krakoa. So
Yes.
it's very interesting how it feels like the next part of both of those stories, even when it's not really. So as they're trying to leave, we see Captain America, and I can't remember, was Hawkeye with them? I can't remember if Hawkeye was there or not. But the survivors are trying to get to the ship, but they're too late. The xenomorphs are invading, and Hulk jumps down to save his friends.
He's got
And
it's the I personally think it's like one of the best lines in the book. If you remember, Tony says, um, he says, if you uh, if you leave, you're not going to be able to help them. We have to run. Like we need your mind more than your body. And then as he transforms, he says, Tony, if I did nothing, then I'd be a monster. And then jumps out the
yeah,
window. Oh, it's such a good line.
yeah, I love the Hulk. Hulk is one of the best Marvel characters. Uh, So yeah, they leave Hulk and Captain America there to fight the Xenomorphs. I like to believe Hulk survived, but we don't know. If he could survive the Xenomorph invasion, it would be the Hulk, but we just don't know. So the plan is Tony's spaceship is designed to go.
Can we say it real quick? It's Avengers Tower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Avengers Tower,
And they just
and it's
launch it like a rocket. It's great. It's
yeah.
so dumb comic booky. It's great.
Yeah, there's a lot of dumb comic things in this, and is basically designed to like terraform a planet and create a new Earth for them. But they're like, you know what? We got to swing by Mars, pick up the X-Men before we go, which is a huge mistake. They should have just left. So when they get to Mars, which used to be a bustling city, um, it's kind of deserted. And I don't remember exactly what happens. I think they get attacked, and then who is it that gets it's Carol Danvers that she gets kind of teleported away, and she finds the remaining X-Men,
Yes. Hmm.
which is White Queen, Armor, Wolverine, and Manifold. Manifold's the one that has the teleporting powers.
Yep.
And then we also find out that Mars fell because of Mr. Sinister, because it's always Mr. Sinister that is
Yeah.
causing issues. We get more of um, if you've read any of Secret War or X-Men, Krakoa, Hickman likes to treat Mr. Sinister as hundreds of, Mr. Sinister clones. They're all backstabbing each other, and they're all kind of goofy,
It's
and
great.
that is what we have here at Bar Sinister, where they're all hanging out, and you see that, Mr. Sinister is obsessed with the evolution of the species, and here he has found the perfect life form, and so he wants to be part of that. He wants to. If you don't know, Mr. Sinister is not a mutant. He started out as a human who added mutant DNA to his body, and has been evolving and cloning and trying to get everything perfect. And so now he sees this ultimate killing machine that he wants to be part of. So he's going to create a Mr. Sinister slash Xenomorph combination. Again, very comic booky. So
Everything that we're saying is just with reverence and respect. Like when I say it's comic booky, when he says comic booky, in the best way possible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The things you can only really get away with in comic books, and that's why we
Yeah.
love them.
I don't think that you could do this in like maybe this is an animated movie. Um but like this is not a crossover you're going to get in live action.
Yeah. So we also find out that the engineers are not quite as dead as we thought they were. They
Yeah.
are they're coming back with a vengeance after the Davids, and they are kind of following them to the Marvel universe to wipe out the xenomorphs and wipe out all of creation. Really,
Yeah.
they're sick of them. So the things go from bad to worse as they usually do in alien stories. Uh, the remaining X-Men are fighting off the xenomorphs, and then the Mr. Sinister xenomorph shows up that has already killed off all the other Mr. Sinister clones. It is out of control. And the plan was for all of the Sinister clones to become xenomorphs, but the first one that was created was not having it and just killed them all. Uh, so you've got Emma in diamond form. You've got Armor. They both should be pretty invincible. And the Mr. Sinister xenomorph is using all the powers of past mutants to just decimate them. So like a xenomorph
So
that could teleport and do all kinds of stuff.
well,
It's
I
wild.
I do if I may, I do have a complaint about this.
Uh-huh.
It's probably my only complaint in the whole thing. They only tell us that he has all these powers. We only see him use Nightcrawler's power.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
It'd been fun if he had like, well, I guess the xenomorph doesn't. Do they have eyes? Optic blast probably wouldn't work, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, let's I don't know. I I I think maybe we see him use another one because eventually, as a last ditch effort, um, Captain Marvel goes down and kind of like does a supernova, kind of nukes herself, and
Mhm.
then the sinister alien gets back up. I can't tell. It looks like that he has Colossus's skin,
I
maybe.
think he did. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
he did.
yeah. So that's two.
Yeah, and
um,
the thing is, armor. You shouldn't be able to get to armor, but he teleports inside of her armor, which was really cool.
yes, and then the inner jaw does its thing.
Yeah, it
Eh,
was really fun. And we also get Wolverine, doing Wolverine stuff. It's a whole lot
yeah,
of fun. And the Wakandans show up, and you think they're here to save the day, but Mr. Sinister's just too tough. And then we find out that Spider-Man is still around, and we get a fight between uh, the xenomorphs, or the Venom suit, and the xenomorphs.
yeah. Well, and so the Venom suit, it we don't explain how, and it's just one of those things where we don't explain how. I don't care. It's cool.
Mm.
Um, where like, okay, so now the face hugger is just a full on buff alien now. And so I almost, let me see if I can find a picture of it. If I type in Venom alien, that's not gonna Xeno.
Venom Xenomorph.
Yeah,
We'll pull it up.
yeah.
Well, a recent comic book talked about that. Spoilers for current Venom's stories where Mary Jane is Venom, and the suit. The question was, how does why is she so muscular when she's Venom? And it's that the suit creates muscles. Like it one of the recent issues explains it.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I do appreciate, because this kind of starts off as a Fantastic Four book in a way, and so
Hmm.
Miles is wearing a Future Foundation suit, which is cool.
Yeah, yeah. And again, that's
Um,
a Hickman thing.
yeah,
So
but yeah, so we have, and like to me, this is like, this is calling back to um, a, a symbiote Tyrannosaurus Rex from the Savage Land in Old Man Logan. Now we've got a symbiote xenomorph that's just this big buff thing, and it's insane. Another thing that I like is, we keep talking about the sinister xenomorph as if it's a thing. It has a personality. It like cockily smiles at
oh yeah,
Logan
the
when he's
smile is super creepy. It kind of
yeah,
reminds me of Carnage, actually.
yeah.
It so we get this huge final fight between the Venom Xenomorph, Mr. Sinister Xenomorph. I don't recall what happens to the engineers. How did they are killed off, right? Who kills them?
I
Uh,
I actually don't remember either, because I remember them coming.
I
I
think they
don't know.
show up when the Wakandans show up, but I think the Xenomorphs overrun them. I want to say,
They
like they weren't
they
ready for Mr. Sinister Xenomorph.
yeah, that might be it. At the same time, I also wouldn't be surprised if they're never dealt with.
Yeah, I think they were just kind of cleaning up the David mess in the other universe. So this ends with the Wakandans and the survivors getting onto a ship and realizing that this and all that. That's fun. Yeah, see the
Yeah,
Colossus armor. Definitely has Colossus armor.
yeah. I definitely like how they're whenever Wolverine and Emma are like, "You see that mark on his head, Mister Sinister," and then they're like, "Yeah, I wouldn't feel good about myself if I ran from him." it's
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But at the end, we see the formation of an Avengers team, and their mission is to go avenge the Earth and go out through the multiverse and find all these xenomorphs that are on the run. So we have like Venom and Spider Man, Wolverine, Manifold.
Emma.
Emma's still there. Is that it? I'm trying to think.
Um,
Because
I
Tony died, Captain Marvel died.
do
It
the
feels like it's it. Oh, and
does
the
Pa-
Black Panther. Black
yeah,
Panther's there.
yeah, I was about to say, did Panther go with him? I do like the the "these are my last words" uh monologue, where he's like, uh avenge the team, avenge the earth, and if it's not too much trouble, avenge me.
Yeah,
It-
a lot of fun, and that was the thing about this whole story. I kept wondering how it was going to end because I was like, are they going to do some time travel shenanigans and fix everything? And no, humanity's been basically wiped
yeah,
out.
yeah. Well, and that's kind of where I'm like, yeah, this is kind of like a better Marvel Zombies.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
so
yeah. Overall, I like it. Have you read many of these Aliens, Predator, Marvel stories?
Not the Marvel ones. I've read some of the DC ones. Although
Yeah,
no, those aren't Alien. I think that's Batman versus Predator. I think.
yeah. So the only other one I've read is Wolverine versus Predator, which was pretty good about Wolverine and this Predator fighting throughout his whole life, 100 years. The Predator keeps showing up, and Wolverine keeps fighting him. Uh, that one was interesting, but yeah, I think it's interesting what they are doing with these 20th century uh, projects with the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
I think right now
The,
they're doing a Planet of the Apes, Fantastic Four, which sounds crazy and cool, and I'm
that
very
sounds
curious about.
awesome. Well,
Yeah,
you know what that makes me think of? Like you mix Fantastic Four with Planet of the Apes. That's just an everyday Flash Gorilla Grodd story.
yeah, yeah,
But now I'm like, this is what the buyout should have been for. We know this is not what the buyout was for, um, but this is what it should have been for. You know?
yeah. So I really enjoyed this, and I think Captain America versus Aliens sounds like a lot of fun. So I'm curious what that one looks like. So
Yeah. I mean, give me a sec. Is it involved in some way? Is that or is it
I think it's
confirmed
its own
completely
thing.
different?
I think it's just like Aliens in World War II, I believe is what it is.
Which I that's kind of cool. I'm kind of down with that.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool. Um, so yeah, we definitely recommend this. If you like Jonathan Hickman, I think it's a must read. If you like Hickman, if you like X-Men
Mm.
Krakoa or the Alien movies, I think this is a pretty
You,
good read through.
you know what would be interesting is, and I don't know if they'd ever do this, um, but if you start like if you so what you I think what you could do at this point is you could just read all of Hickman's bibliography at Marvel,
Hmm.
and it leads through like a story, um like and stuff with like Ultimate Invasion. And I know Ultimate Endgame's not necessarily his story, but I know he's involved in somewhat. uh
Hmm.
so I wonder if like a crossover between this Avengers team and the Ultimates and Ultimate Invasion, I wonder if all that could happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how the if there'll be an Ultimate Universe left by the time that story's over.
Also
So
true, which I don't, now that you mention, I don't think so. I think they are confirmed ending that,
yeah,
which is insane because I'm fairly certain that that's their highest selling stuff right now.
yeah, we could do a whole show about the woes of Marvel at the moment,
Let's talk
but
about the rights of DC because they are definitely not ending Absolute Universe, which is their version of Ultimate, and it's so good.
yeah, yeah. So that's our discussion today on Aliens versus Avengers. I like I said, I definitely recommend you check it out. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We haven't quite decided on what movies we're going to be reviewing, but we're doing another episode of He Made Me Do It, where I pick
Hmm.
a movie or TV show and make Caleb watch it. Caleb picks a movie or TV show, it makes me watch it that I haven't seen.
Hmm.
It is a lot of fun. Sometimes it's a good movie, sometimes it's a bad movie. So we'll
I
see what that's going to look like.
I think for the last one, I'm gonna make you watch a good movie.
Yeah, I think so too. Uh, I think I'll pick a nice one. So,
Yeah,
but that's our show for today. I do not remember how the show ends. uh, but until next time, I'm Final Monkey.
and I'm Caleb.
We'll catch you next time in the deep end.
See ya.